I immigrated to United States in 2016.
A move for the American dream.
Trying to find a better job, a better life.
A dream this person worked hard for and wants to protect. It's why we agreed to conceal their identity. We'll call them Sam.
When you came here, did you speak any English at all?
No, I can say my name is, but what's pretty much it.
So, Sam enrolled at Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools.
I found out about Highlands from one of the students and say, I'm gonna try it.
Highlands is a charter school for adults where students can get a high school diploma and learn English.
I was determined. I said I need to learn. I need to learn as fast as possible.
Highlands has thousands of students. There's a great need for this kind of education. But employees tell us the school's leadership does not care about the education students receive. They care about attendance. For every student in class, Highlands gets money. And in the last 6 school years, Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools told ABC 10 they've brought in over $450 million from attendance.
Because we have those huge classes, like with 40, 50, or 100 students enrolled.
Sources say the push to increase attendance led to all kinds of questionable practices, like oversized classes.
I had a room that had 34 chairs, and at one point I had 88 students in the room.
Take a look at these videos provided to ABC 10. Overflowing classrooms, forcing students to sit on the ground. And when Highlands couldn't get that many students, sources tell us the school pressured teachers to inflate numbers, as we first reported earlier this year. All to keep tax dollars coming in, sources say.
That is where you would see an economy of scale in a charter school or any school in terms of money.
Education expert Dr. Frank Adamson has researched charter schools for decades and confirmed large class sizes can be a sign of financial incentive. At Highlands, a class with 1 teacher had 287 students enrolled, this picture of a roster shows.
Ridiculous numbers of students on my rosters, like hundreds.
A source also showed ABC 10 2 other rosters from March 2024. One had 382 students, the other 347 students. Each class had 1 teacher.
In a physical classroom?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I think
that's my college psychology class,
Yeah.
not a high school class. That's not appropriate. These are the types of things where I get really concerned about both our students and the education public dollar.
In a statement to ABC 10, Highlands said students may be enrolled but not attending, and they only get funds for those in class.
We have open enrollment, and so there are no caps on class sizes.
Twin Rivers Unified, the school district that authorizes and oversees Highlands, told ABC 10 class sizes at Highlands should only be reduced when there's more students than classroom capacity, or if the quality of instruction is impacted. But Highlands staff say both capacity and quality are huge issues.
They fill up the rooms with beginner students that are not able to really learn the language at all.
Our classrooms are bigger, but this is what every school in the country should be doing. Get paraeducators.
Paraeducators are teachers' aides. The job description provided to ABC 10 says paraeducators assist certificated teachers under the direction of a supervisor.
I needed really the job.
Sam was hired as a paraeducator right out of a Highlands class.
That was the teacher who suggested to apply, so I did.
But Sam quickly learned the job was not just to be a teacher's aide, it was also to be the teacher. They found themselves teaching classes alone.
Probably every day for probably 2 hours, 2.5.
If you could ballpark it, how many paraeducators do you believe were teaching?
Majority of them.
Multiple insiders say this is common practice at Highlands. It's been going on for years.
The paras that should just help you, they would always teach.
Paraeducators teaching, is that something you've experienced?
today.
Students at Highlands are there to earn a diploma or certificate. That means by law, their teachers need to be credentialed, the California Teachers Commission says. Paraeducators are not.
Did you know at that time it was illegal to teach without a credential?
I didn't. It hurts.
Highlands told ABC 10 no paraeducators there are hired to teach or teach classes. But another paraeducator's annual self-review provided to ABC 10 described them having to teach multiple classes. At that time, this employee did not have a credential allowing them to teach alone. They still don't, yet Highlands lists this person as a teacher on their website. Highlands responded saying all Highlands teachers have credentials or are in the process of obtaining them.
If I take a job, I want to be really qualified for it.
After already teaching classes alone, Sam told us pressure came from leadership to hurry up and get a teaching credential to make it all legitimate.
They made it clear, you should better consider that because we need teachers.
Highlands also told us they need new teachers. In response to our questions about oversized classes, they said they're hoping to expand their facilities and recruit 80 teachers in the new school year. And where Highlands finds many teachers, it's from its own staff of paraeducators, who sources say already teach illegally. Paraeducator to teacher. That's the Highlands process, this internal document ABC 10 obtained shows. Staff who, in many cases, were recently students.
We've hired 1,000 staff members, and 25%, close to 25, are ex-students.
Insiders told us Highlands recruited students who were struggling with basic subjects. We obtained records showing multiple Highlands teachers who used to be students scored lower than high school graduates on reading, listening, and math. One only had a second grade score for listening. Others got third and fourth grade scores on math and reading. These scores were their most recent tests as students before being hired at Highlands, sources say, and they're teachers at Highlands today.
And their teaching, for me, it's concerning. And I strongly believe they're not ready. I'm not ready, and they're not either.
Highlands responded saying, while we do not assess our teachers in English, we do require that they meet the requirements of the California Teachers Commission for credentialing purposes. Our sources say unqualified teachers and large class sizes hurt the education Highlands students receive.
The sources we've spoken with say Highlands leadership prioritizes attendance because of the funding it gets from attendance, rather than ensuring students are receiving a quality education. What do you have to say about that?
I don't know. Adult ed across the state of California, you're funded on the size of your district, whether you serve 1 or 1 million. I'm not saying that's wrong. The greatest gift we were given was to say, you don't get any money unless somebody shows up. And so the first thing I did was talk about funding. So attendance is important to us, but it doesn't supersede content.
So put simply, would you say that Highlands prioritizes attendance over all else?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Is it part of the thing? Yeah. We prioritize our students.
While a Highlands student, Sam says they attended other schools to learn English.
At one point, I said, this is not enough, I need more.
After becoming a Highlands paraeducator, Sam heard similar concerns from students.
Students telling me, that's a joke. I cannot stay or come here for this. I need something more. I need something serious.
When Sam brought these students' concerns to Highlands leadership,
they decided, you know what? We're gonna move you to a different location, like a punishment.
It's a pattern. Source after source has told ABC 10 about retaliation at Highlands.
Anytime anyone voiced an opinion or some pushback, that person would usually just disappear.
Smith denies this.
You're going to hear this over and over again. We respect our staff.
In their statement to ABC 10, Highlands said they take all staff concerns seriously and recently hired a new head of HR.
Look, if you have 600 employees, you're going to have a couple that aren't loving you.
but it may be more than a couple. 400 employees are currently suing Highlands. Most of these employees are paraeducators, court documents show, and they're accusing Highlands of several issues like not paying them overtime, denying them breaks, and retaliation.
It is expected that you nod and smile, and you do not say anything that can even be seen as negative. But the proof is in the pudding that people are fired.
That's why dozens of sources we spoke with, both current and former employees, will not go on camera. And many who did talk to us on camera requested their identity be hidden, as days before releasing our initial investigation, Smith told his staff this.
We're getting our ammunition ready to combat the people who wish to do us harm, who lie, and they will be held accountable. It's already looking pretty good in that point, that there's going to be some problems for some people.
Highlands did not respond when we asked about what Smith said. They did say the class action lawsuit was common in large organizations and alleged it was brought on by trial attorneys seeking to enrich themselves. They also said no one at Highlands retaliates against anyone who expresses themselves or raises concerns. But employees who feel they can't go to leadership have come to ABC 10 with concerns. Over the past year, we've spoken to around 40 on and off camera, including current administrators and teachers who want to shine a light on how Highlands gets and spends public school funds.
It was not that the quality of teaching was important or students would really learn. It was all about the attendance.
And where Highlands can bring in even more attendance is online.
We would just keep swallowing up more and more, accepting more and more students beyond capacity, well beyond capacity.
That's next on our ongoing investigation, the Wild West of Education. On Monday, Highlands Board held a special board meeting where they approved 12 contracts. All of them were over $100,000. Some were even over $1 million. But most of these contracts have already been in operation and Highlands has already paid them. And when we asked Highlands Board why they're approving these contracts now, they said they've adopted a new fiscal policy to approve all contracts over $100,000. But this was already a board policy that they should have been following. When we reminded them of that, they said there's been inconsistencies in the procedures of approving contracts, and they had nothing else to add when we asked them to elaborate. Alex?
Yeah, and Andy, I do want to mention that you can watch all of our episodes of this investigation, The Wild West of Education, at abc10.com.